Welcome back to Good Morning Antigua, Barbuda, for today, Monday, the 8th day of December. With me this morning, Mr. Gregory Georges, Chief Executive Officer of West Indies Oil Company Limited, and of course, Granville Jacobs, Marketing Manager, West Indies Oil Company Limited. Good morning, Mr. Georges. Good morning, Mr.
Good morning,
Mr. How are you guys?
I'm not sure about
all is well
at all.
Well, guys,
good morning to Antigua and Barbuda.
First, I must let them know that we were due to be in English Harbour this morning for the Falmouth and the boat show. And thus the reason why you guys were supposed to be on the show. We couldn't do it out there this morning, so we're here. And I'm going to get to it because time is limited. We know for a fact that there's a low all sulfur diesel. And because of the boat show that's in Antigua and Barbuda, this was introduced. So explain that to me, Granville, because you're the man. What is ultra low sulfur diesel?
Okay, this is a very clean diesel, Dave. The ultra low sulfur diesel that has been refined so that the sulfur content could be 15 parts per million or even less, believe it or not. This is approximately 95 to 97% cleaner than the standard diesel that we have been using here in Antigua, Barbuda, which basically has an average of about 500 parts per million of sulfur.
Of sulfur. Now, I was about to have fun about the sulfur, but we get back to that. Why ULSD in Antigua?
Why ultra low sulfur diesel? Well, you think of it, the tourism industry is the mainstay of our economy. And a key sector of the tourism industry is the yachting industry. So basically, the marinas approached us and basically said it's imperative that we supply the yachts with ultra-low sulfur diesel or low sulfur diesel, basically to meet the European regulatory requirements, because they have limits of legal limits of the amount of sulfur they can carry in their fuel tanks when they go into these jurisdictions. So basically, when these vessels or these yachts make the Atlantic crossings, they want to be able to fuel up, ideally in Antigua. In the past, they used to have to go to St. Martin, for example, in some cases bypass Antigua completely. So we basically discussed it internally and found an innovative solution to do this. So now we are very proud of the fact that we can offer low sulfur diesel to Antigua. It means that the yachts stay longer in Antigua. It means they spend more money here. It means they don't have to go elsewhere to refuel up. Basically, Antigua is now a one-stop shop for Antigua and Barbuda. They can provision here, they can stock up their water here, more foreign exchange. So ultimate economic benefits flow to Antigua and Barbuda.
So what are some of the preparations, Mr. Jacobs, that you had to do for this transition?
Okay, first let me say, Dave, that this product is very unique. We cannot afford at any time to have it contaminated with the standard diesel that we have here, or which we have been using here in Antigua Barbuda for years. So what we had to do first, identify a tank. A tank, that's correct. We have to get new pumps, meters, fabricate new pipelines, go as far as to build a new loading rack right in the refinery, which is approximately 200 yards away from the present loading rack. Again, we're trying to avoid contamination. That is actually at the plant. At the marina sites, we have to flush all these tanks and pipelines extensively, because just a sprinkle of the high sulfur diesel would contaminate the low sulfur diesel.
Let me kick this one in. So we're driving around diesel vehicles in Antigua and Barbuda. Are we going to be using that sort of diesel, or we're using the regular diesel that we normally get?
You asked a great question, Dave, and I believe after this interview, a lot of people are going to call us at West Indies Oil to know exactly what is happening, believe it or not. Yes, we cater for the yachts, but at this point in time, we are actually making preparations to start with the service stations. So very soon, in the next few weeks, we'll be putting that out at one of our main service stations, and as the demand increases, we will work accordingly.
The cost differ?
Let me take that once. There's a differential in price between the two. Basically, you buy products on what's called postings. And right now we use something called the U.S. Gulf Coast waterborne posting. And the differential today between the two, between the high sulfur and the low sulfur, is approximately 25 to 30 cents US per US gallon. So that translates to about 70, 80 cents per EC per US gallon. But what we've done, we've tried to be very competitively priced in our pricing to the yachts. We know that everybody is price sensitive, but at the same time, they want a quality product. So what we've done is we think we've competitively priced for the yachting industry, and we think the yachting industry is more interested in the service, being able to fuel up rather than the price. But still, we've tried to manage the price to be competitive with our neighbors, for example, St. Martin.
What sort of investment a company had to make for this?
Okay, very good question. Initially, a year or two ago, we thought there would be a massive investment because of the fact that, as Mr. Jacobs mentioned, it's very easy to contaminate the fuel. So therefore, we thought initially we had to invest in another pipeline to run only ultra-low sulfur diesel. Fortunately, with some innovative technology, we were able to basically use technology called a sight glass. I'm not an engineer, but we use a sight glass, we use a water manifold, and basically we were able to do so without any excessive financial investment. So kudos to sort of the employees of West Indies Oil Company Limited.
Okay, well, now we know of all that. What do we have here on the table? Because we're curious to find out what do we have here on the table.
I sure you permit me, Dave, to ask you to guess.
Well, I guess already.
This is 2 diesel.
I guess already. I would want to believe the clear one is the ultra low sulfur. Yeah. And this one look like beverage. Sugar water.
Very good.
That is the diesel that we're currently using.
This is the diesel, Dave, that we're currently using here in Antigua Barbuda. Yeah. And this one, of course, you're 100% correct. Wow. Now, what color it is, Dave?
Well, it's clear.
Clear? Yeah. Okay, some would say green.
Yeah, well, but I wear glasses, and these lights can reflect different things, but this one look like beverage. Look like brown sugar water without the lemon.
We're going green, Dave.
We're going green?
We're going green.
Okay, good. Now that you guys have all this, we know for a fact that the yacht show is going on. What was the reception from the yachties, of course, the boat owners, knowing that this will be implemented, and of course from the government standpoint, knowing that the folks will be able to purchase the diesel here in Antigua and Barbuda?
Very excited, I would think. Very excited.
That's correct.
Yes, and a press release went out from the Antigua Barbuda Marine Association, and from what I understand, that press release went out worldwide. And you look at yachting magazines in Australia, for example, I saw it show up. If you're watching the time.
I have to. I can't have you guys here and don't ask this question.
Yeah.
First, you're the CEO.
That's correct.
And I'm going to pose these questions to you.
Okay.
The fluctuation of prices at the pump overseas, all over the world, we're hearing price goes down. In Antigua Barbuda, it seems that it's just locked into high prices.
Well, I just want to make it clear. West Indies Oil does not determine the price of fuel at the pump.
No?
What it is, we have there's something called a price build-up. So basically, West Indies Oil has a regulated margin, which is fixed by the government. So therefore, the government is the one who really determines the price at the pump. And you heard Mr. Lennox Weston last week mention the fact that he'll be holding prices basically stable for the time being. Because remember, as the price goes down, the government consumption tax basically goes up. And reverse, as the price goes up, the government consumption tax comes down. I think he used the argument that for years, the fact that the price was going up and the price was stay stable, it means that the government basically subsidized with their reduction in consumption tax over the years. So I think his policy is to try to recoup some of those losses. But that's a government issue, and it's really not a West Indies Oil issue whatsoever.
So, but you get the price, you get the gas at a cheaper rate.
Yes.
When you get it to Antigua and Barbuda, West Indies all get it at a cheaper rate. But it's not up to you to set.
That's right, because when we get a cheaper rate, the difference then goes to the government in terms of consumption taxes.
So you don't have no control at the pumps?
We have no control at the pumps whatsoever. The government advises us whether we increase the price or decrease the price, and that will have a knock-on effect on the consumption tax, whether the consumption tax goes up or whether it goes down.
But all this good news, of course, of the we talk about gasoline here in Antigua and Barbuda, and I was told, and I guess you can suppose this to Mr. Jacobs, when I posed this question earlier to you off the set, what kind of grade of gasoline do we get in Antigua and Barbuda?
95 octane.
Yeah. 95 octane?
95 octane.
Is it that high?
Very high grade.
So, for instance, you travel to North America and all these places, you see grade 1, grade 2, yeah, you're paying a low price, so we're getting the highest grade of gasoline?
Well, we're not getting the highest. I mean, there is, in the UK, for example, and the US as well, you see 98 RON.
Yeah.
RON means basically research octane number. So effectively, the higher the octane number, the better the quality of gas. What I can say for sure is that we're getting the highest quality of gas available in the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean?
Certainly, 95. I was in Trinidad some months ago, and you're filling up at the pump, you see an option of 92 RON or 95 RON.
And we have 95.
We have 95 throughout Antigua and Barbuda because it suits the sort of the high-end vehicles that we've got.
Okay. Final question, and this goes to the CEO. We heard earlier from the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda of a company who was fleecing the nation. And we were going to sue them to get back. And then later we find out, we heard that, of course, West Indies Oil were the culprits of charging us some exorbitant costs. Well, how can we clear this one up? I only have 10 seconds.
All I can say is I have absolutely no comment on that matter. I'm not in a position to comment.
Not in a position to comment.
No.
Gentlemen, of course, the Yatis will be happy.
Okay,
Antigua and Barbuda will be happy. We'll be getting 95% of the octane, you said?
95 RON.
95 RON.
Yeah, that's correct.
So we're in good standing.
Thank you.
Okay. Gentlemen, thanks for being with us this morning.
Pleasure being here, Dave.
I said, waking up with us, we don't have any breakfast for you. Thanks for being with us. Have a productive week.
Okay, thank you. Same to you.
Okay, it's Good Morning Antigua Barbuda on this beautiful Monday morning. Stay with us. We've got Phil George with Antigua and Barbuda today.